Hello, welcome to the Hive with Us podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Martinez. Today we have returning guest, Dan Haberkost. If you have not seen the other episode, please go check it out. We talked about land investing, subdivides, and value adding through building on your land. If you have not heard it, please go check it out. It's three episodes in front of this one. But today we have Deal Breakdown. We cover cool, interesting stories. And Dan has a cool story for us today. You want to jump into it?
Yeah. So Shasta Drive, this was 2021, and we actually got this lead from Craigslist. So the seller wanted to sell on terms, and he was an older guy, owned a ton of houses, like 20 houses. He had plenty of cash. So his goal more was to mitigate taxes and find someone reliable he could sell to where he was certain that he'd get his monthly payments. So this house was disgusting. It smelled horrible. I don't know what these people were doing. And it also had severe foundation issues. Now, I bought a number of the houses I own and gotten good deals on them by dealing with foundation issues. So it wasn't anything new. My brother used to work for a foundation repair company. So between him, me, and his resources, we've been able to fix some pretty severe foundation issues. So we thought this one would be no different. So actually wrote the contract up on this guy's kitchen table on a napkin initially and sent that into escrow. And they had us do like an addendum and a more official contract, but started that way. So it was $250 purchase price, 3% interest because it was 2021. First 2 years interest only into a 15-year just traditional mortgage, 3% interest. And the reason we got such a good deal was simply because it was trashed and the foundation was messed up. You walked into the house, and if you were to drop like a ball, it would roll to the sides because the whole outside, all the foundation walls had sunk and the main beam had not sunk. So the middle of the house, there was a big protrusion where the main beam was. This thing was messed up. So anyways, I hired the same contractor I'd used for a bunch of different projects. He was always a little goofy, but he had done good work and had always kept his word to me. So great. Started the project with him. He starts redoing everything. And we actually had to lower the main beam 4 inches, and this worked. So the foundation walls had all sunk, and for anyone that has any experience with this, it was strange, at least at first, because there weren't a lot of cracks. There was massive movement, clearly, but not a lot of cracks. And what it was very uniform settlement of the foundation walls, so they stayed very intact. So we thought, all right, we'll lower the main beam. And so that's what we did. Via him, the contractor, we slowly, a little bit of the time over the course of weeks, lowered it to the point that the floor was flat. And now the whole house was sitting about 4.5 inches lower than it was originally. And it was fine, right? It was a 1955 build. So that settling of the foundation walls had taken place over the course of the prior, 65 years or whatever that is. So not really worried about it now. So that solved the foundation problem. And then it was total redo of the electrical, right? Had a Federal Pacific panel and a lot of the wiring was messed up. I don't think we had to replace the furnace, but otherwise mostly a gut job. And it was disgusting. It smelled terrible. So contractors going through the process, it's going well, staying within budget. And then things start to deteriorate a little bit. He started to get, clearly something was off, and he wasn't telling me. This wasn't too far from where I lived at the time, so I'd go check on him quite a bit. And obviously it was a several-month project. But, 3% interest only on a $250 purchase price. We weren't paying that much in interest. But anyways, he tells me he's having issues with his baby mama, and she's not letting him see his daughter. And so from there, things start to deteriorate. He's not getting as much done. It's not showing up on time. And then I get a call one day when they're excavating the front yard to replace the water and sewer line. His teenage assistant calls me and he goes, Dan, Jeff's been arrested. It's like, oh, wonderful. So I drive over there and the whole front yard is excavated. And this is a 1/4 acre parcel. So, dirt's spilling into the neighbors a little bit. Like, we want to get this done. Whole front yard's excavated, water's turned off, water line's replaced, sewer line isn't finished, and the excavator's just sitting there on site, rented, and Jeff's gone. And there's just his teenage kid there. He's in jail. That's all we know at that point. So scrambled to find somebody to finish the replacement of the sewer line, put all the dirt back, get the rental taken back, and then I needed him to finish it because he was halfway through so many little pieces and parts of the house. So long story short, I ended up learning about the bail system, bailing him out of jail, and getting him there to finish the project. So that definitely put a little hiccup in it. And then he kind of fell apart and didn't quite finish everything, although he got close. So ended up having to hire someone else to do the last few pieces and parts of it. But all that to say, tenants moved in early 2022. We bought this, I think, September, October 2021. And there ended up being some recurring problems of things he ended up not doing correctly and had to send other handymen and contractors back to fix some things. So there was some pain in the butt, definitely. But it ended up working out all right. It's a great rental property. We've had tenants in there for a couple years, $2,300 a month. I think the mortgage now, we're past the interest-only payments, like $1,726. So there's not a ton of cash flow, but there's like $1,100 of mortgage pay down every month from the first payment because the interest rate's so low and it's a 15-year AM note. So I just look at that as an appreciating savings account that someone else is filling for me. So when we bought it, again, it was $250, and then the value was probably $340 or $350. So I haven't looked at values recently. So it's just a nice rental property with some equity that'll slowly increase over time.
There you go. Nah, I think it's funny. Did you discount his bail from his draw?
Yeah, I did. Yep.
You have to sign off on this, man. I'll pay your bail, but it's going to cost you.
Yep. Yeah, it was awkward, man. I remember going. It was like a Sunday morning to talk to him. Just visitation at first before actually bailing him out and just figuring out what was going on. I didn't get all the details, but it was a domestic thing with the baby mama. And he just broke down. His family didn't want to talk to. It was bad. He was crying, and it was just, it was a hairy situation. So, yeah, dealt with it.
One thing I'll prepare you for, especially everybody here listening, is whenever you're a business owner, you have to take on employee and contractor problems. You are the therapist, the armchair therapist, as the owner, CEO, and operator of the business. You are the armchair therapist for a lot of people's problems. And it is what it is. If you haven't come up with it, it will happen. And you'll have to deal with a crazy situation that is not yours. And it's going to come up. I guarantee it. So,
Yeah, no, absolutely. If something goes wrong in their life, they will make it your problem. And so you kind of have to be the stoic, the rock, and just deal with it and help them with it.
Yeah, I remember my last business, I was dealing with like marriage counseling. I was marriage counseling this couple. They've been together longer than I've been married. I'm like, this is interesting.
That's tough.
Oh man, it's a very interesting dynamic that operators have, and it's not all business.
Yeah. No, so much of what we do day to day, whether it's negotiating, dealing with employees, contractors, you're just trying to navigate human emotions, and you're negotiating in one way or another, So
there's a quote I like that says, "Business would be easier if people weren't involved."
Yes. Yeah, no, I like to read these articles from Howard Marks. He puts out newsletters like or memos here and there, and it's about investing. If you don't know who he is, he's in the same world as Warren Buffett, similar to that, not quite as wealthy, but same idea. And so he's been investing for like 55 years, and really all of his articles are just about human nature. When he's talking about the market, when he's talking about what's happening, what's trending, it's all just human nature. And so I think that's really useful to read because ultimately that's what we're dealing with in business all day.
Absolutely. Where can people find you online? This has been a great episode. I hope you all enjoyed that quick little story from Dan here. But where can people find you online, Dan?
DanHaberkost.com or Dan Haberkost on any of the socials.
There you go. For everybody here, go like, share, subscribe, share it with a friend. We will see you next time. Stay tuned. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.